Hello and welcome to the post-match analysis of the very first one-day match. We obviously were very optimistic when we met in the afternoon, but a lot has happened. Clearly, kudos to South Africa for once again showing what it means to play a team sport, what it means to come together during difficult times, right from the first innings when Bavuma and Rassi came together to play a fantastic innings. Probably they stole the match right then and there, but India started well with obviously we lost our captain KL Rahul early, but great to see the old Tiger Shikhar Dhawan come back and make his impact. Kohli looked absolutely impeccable till that one false shot. But thereafter, once again, we saw Team India collapse. Joydeep, welcome to the show. What's your take? I'm obviously quite disappointed late in the evening in Singapore. What's your take on the game?
Yeah, unfortunately, with the white ball, our luck hasn't changed. And South Africa has come out hitting us hard once again. Couple of things. One is initially I thought that South Africa were 30, 40 runs short because you can't be 296 for four. What you can be either 296 for seven or eight, or you can be 325 for four. So I thought with both nearing their hundreds, their personal landmarks came in. But ultimately, I mean, it all panned out well for them. But if had India won this game, we could have spoken more about this because this game was in India's graph. 296 was a chaseable total. We'll come to the reasons why I felt that India did not feel the right team. How can you have Ashwin play at number 7 in a one-day game? Why are you playing Venkatesh Iyer if he's not going to bowl? Why are you not playing Surya Kumar Yadav if he's not going to bowl? So these questions, I was a little baffled because your tail is so long. Your batting has been weak. Shikhar playing after a long time. Shreyas Iyer, bit of an unknown product. Rishabh Pant will blow hot and cold. When he's hot, he's better than anybody, but he'll have his off days. So this is not that team where you could play with 5, 6 batters against a very strong opposition on against very good bowling. You want to go in with an extra batter and you want to go in with Surya Kumar Yadav, unless Venkatesh Iyer is coming and bowling regularly, his role is as an all-rounder. As a batsman, there are others who are better than him. As an all-rounder, he's better than the others. So I thought, in the 39th over, we saw Ashwin batting. In the 43rd over, we saw Bumrah batting, and you don't want that. And we only lost 4 wickets, and we saw these people batting. These people should be batting when we lose 7 wickets, 8 wickets. So I thought in a test match, you can get away with it because your batters get much longer to play with. But in one-day cricket, where it's a chancy game, yes, our dismissals were very loose. Shikhar went to cut a ball against the turn. Rishabh, very loose. Shreyas Iyer, very loose. So these dismissals were loose. But at the end of the day, I think we got our combination wrong in this game.
Yes, I think the selection and the placements of the players look to me. I mean, again, perhaps I'm saying this because I'm biased now after looking at the result, but it doesn't seem to be very settled. I mean, obviously with Rohit coming back, the question is again, Rahul has played at 5. Is he going to be our opener? There are some suggestions. Of course, Rishabh, obviously, I mean, exactly a year ago it was his day. We kind of broke through Gaba, but today obviously wasn't his day with the bat. Should a KL, I mean, obviously we have Ishan Kishan and Rishabh, but is there merit to kind of get Surya Kumar in the mix? Should KL be keeping and providing that balance that Dravid had done at some point? I mean, to not play Surya Kumar Yadav, to not play Ishan Kishan, that sort of power play hitters, it's a big question mark. Even our bowling, I mean, Chahal, Ashwin, 2 spinners, both went for 5.3. Obviously, one got just 1 wicket, but Chahal, I mean, again, he's coming back after a while. I don't know. I mean, the team seems a bit unsettled for me, and I'm not really sure that when we come back on Friday, one argument could be, again, this is just one game, let's give them another run. But to me, something tells me without a Surya Kumar Yadav and without, another, I mean, and Surya Kumar Yadav, like you said, could be that extra batsman. But would you, let's go step by step, would you still keep the same opening combination?
Shikhar Dhawan playing after a long time. Okay, I'll just come to I answer your question. But Shikhar playing after a long time. Okay, so KL is 1, Virat. Then you have Shreyas Iyer, who's playing after a long time. You have Rishabh at 5, which I think is a place too early for him. He could be 6. So You need Surya to bat at also in this team. Then you can have Venkatesh Iyer, and you can have Venkatesh Iyer bowl. See, in conditions where it's easy for bowling friendly conditions, a non-regular bowler can bowl. You can
Yeah.
get him in as soon as wickets fall, or just after the 10 overs are gone, when everybody just is a little bit, sort of rebuilding the innings. So first to 10, first power play, you go hammer and tongs, get how much. Then from 11 to 17, 18, 20, there's a bit of a lull. Then again, you pick it up. So that's where Venkatesh Iyer could have been bowled. But if he's not in the bowling plans, if he's only going to bowl when the other five, the frontline five bowlers have had an issue, then he's not one of your bowlers. Then he's a backup for you. So if you're going to use him as a backup, you're sacrificing a batsman. And I really feel we're playing with too many bowlers. I said that in the Test series as well, where your batting is not in form. And in bowling friendly conditions, you can be a bowler shot. In batting friendly conditions, you can't be a bowler shot. You can be a batsman shot. If when we play in India, the one days where the wickets are flat, there you can play with one less batter and play an extra bowler, or play somebody like a Venkatesh Iyer. But in conditions like this, where there is something for the bowlers, and the whole of the world knows that with India, you give them flat wickets in red ball and white ball, they'll steamroll you. So you leave some juice in the deck, and something might happen. There wasn't much juice there, but we were very loose with our batting, which is something very surprising. It's just one game, so not to worry. But they've beaten us in the Test match. They've got us in game one, and this is a comprehensive win. You got 7
Yes.
wickets down in 39 overs. This is as one-sided as it gets. It might not be a 150-run win, but India were never in the game, except when they were in the first maybe 18, 20 overs. But the moment Virat got out, then Shikhar got out, you were never in the game after that. That's where you need. When you chase totals like 296 and 300 and 320, and now 300 is par. With these 5 fielders inside the
Yeah.
30-yard circle, now 300 is par. 320, 330 is chaseable. There you need that extra batting, because you will have days when you will have a mini collapse, which is what we did. We had a mini collapse today, and we did not have the backup to take it through.
You're right. I mean, to me, this 31 run, loss, it makes it seems close, and it's only thanks to Shardul and his heroic side at the end. But I think you're right. I think when we come back on Friday, I mean, we better have a Surya Kumar or a Ishant or a Ritu. I mean, Rituraj probably wouldn't get a chance to play because we're not, most likely aren't going to tinker with the opening combination. But to leave a Surya Kumar Yadav, again, one of those match winners who can take the game away, huge question mark. Also, uh, again, just the way post Kohli, the modes of the dismissal, somehow, I don't know. I mean, to the naked eye, it seemed people, there seemed to be a lack of patience, lack of intent. There seemed to be, I mean, again, I'm sure everyone's interested and pushing for a win, but there seemed to be a little disinterest. Even the Ashwin, the way he got out, even, Shreyas, the way he got out, I just thought there seemed to be a little lack of motivation, a little push, which, I mean, when Shikhar and Kohli were playing, to me, it really, as the commentators were saying, I mean, this seemed the game was ours to lose. Uh, but yeah, I'm really hoping that when Sky comes back, hopefully he does, that adds impetus. But let's talk about, bowling on both sides. I mean, we had 2 debutants. I'm really puzzled that Venkatesh Iyer did not bowl. I mean, even if not for anything else, he's a new entity. And as they typically say, when you're a new entity, there isn't much data analytics around you. Why couldn't he have bowled for 2, 3 overs? Is this lack of experience on KL Rahul's part?
No, I think also the fact that somebody like a Felukulayo came and bowled with the keeper up. That is what Venkatesh Iyer does. And,
Yes.
he's not somebody who'll steamroll you with your bowling, but on these sort of wickets where it was keeping low and slow, sometimes skidding through, you want these sort of bowlers. He's come through on the back of a very good bowling form within Vijay Hazare as well. So you want to give him a couple of overs. You never know. You never know in this game until you bowl a couple of overs. Maybe he would have got 4 wickets today, because these are the sort of wickets where this would suit him. He's stump to stump. He nibbles it around with the keeper up. He can stifle you. What Saurav Ganguly used to do, on the stumps, and a little bit nibbling around here and there. There's a bit of juice in the pitch. You get one. You get one in the second over. You are 2 overs, 5 runs, 1 wicket. It's your afternoon. You make it happen. And that helps you with the bat as well, because you come and bat and you feel, okay, I've bowled 8 overs for 33 and I've got 2. I've had a good day on the field, and now I come into bat. And you carry the confidence, your form. So if you're going
And
to
as
play an all-rounder, Venkatesh Iyer has been only in this team because he can bowl. Otherwise, you go with your 6 best batters, keeper included, and then you go with your 5 best bowlers. That's the way it is. But here, you're going Rishabh Pant at 5. 6 is Venkatesh Iyer. So Rishabh Pant is not somebody, I'm his biggest fan, but he's not somebody you can depend on day in and day out. He's not what Rahul Dravid used to be in the number 5 for India back in the day, the backbone of the team. Okay, Ganguly, Sehwag, Tendulkar, and then came at 5 Dravid. Yuvraj at 4, then came Dravid, and then came Kef. So Dravid would, you could depend on him. He would take stock of the situation. That 2003 win over Pakistan, everybody talks about Tendulkar's 99, but what about Dravid at the end? What about Yuvraj at the end, the 50 not outs?
Yep.
Those are the ones. Start helps, but finish matters. So since you can't depend on Pant, he's not that much of a finished product as yet. Pant 3 years down the line will milk this bowling and be 78 not out, because this game is less than 6 runs and over. But he's right now a bit loose in his cricket, which will only tighten up with the more he plays. There's no two questions about his ability. So I thought with Pant at 5, 4 against Shreyas Iyer, new to the game, ups and downs. We don't have too many seasoned campaigners. All our seasoned campaigners are the 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6 is newcomers, and 7 is Ashwin. I can't agree with that one.
Right. So, 2 or 3 pointed questions. I mean, do you see a merit of, again, since you spoke about Dravid, do you see a merit of, playing Pant purely in tests and in ODIs getting a Rahul to keep? Or, we spoke about Ishan being so good. Can Ishan come in for the ODIs? I think so. One is a keeper batsman question. The other is Shardul did score this 50. He's always shown grit, and he obviously backs himself as a batsman. But on the bowling side, he was 7.5. Do you think that he is the right choice for that bowler who can bat, or again, does that create a room? And if you were to replace, and if you keep Shardul, do you see that either Chahal or Ashwin need to sit out? Because we got to create space, as you mentioned earlier in the day, that to get these batsmen. So where does a Surya Kumar come in? Is he going to just walk in because one of the spinners don't play, or does a Shardul sit out, or do you see space for the keeper, either Ishan or Rahul, to kind of take Pant's position to create that space? So my question is around how and where do we create space, if at all, for Friday, if not for the third game?
No, I think Rishabh plays. There's no two opinions about that. I just feel that we need to get the best 6 batters to bat in the top 6. Whether they can bowl or not is secondary. We are not playing our 6 best batters because we're playing Venkatesh Iyer at 6. As much as I love the guy, I think he's great contribution, but he's not a better batsman than Surya Kumar Yadav. Number 1.
For sure.
Number 2 is Shardul today was trifling expensive. You never know. If Shardul had bowled 5 and Venkatesh Iyer had bowled 5, it could have been we were chasing 30 runs less, because Venkatesh Iyer would have probably had a good day with the ball. Okay, Shardul's a bit quicker, but sometimes pace can be your enemy on wickets like this against team that likes pace on the ball. That's the reason why on wickets like this, where it is keeping low and skidding through, you want people who bowl stump to stump, keeper up. You can't step out to them. They stifle you, and they're accurate. Venkatesh Iyer is very accurate. So when you have somebody like that, then you're on them, and you could make out that Bavuma and Van der Dusen, both the guys who got runs, they didn't have to struggle for their runs. Everything was coming. Okay, 1 dot ball, next 2. So the release ball was always there. So today our bowling unit, even for somebody as good as Chahal, should have eaten up these guys. He was getting swept a lot, hit through mid-wicket a lot. So, okay, again, early days. These guys haven't played in a while, and no matter how much you're in the nets, how much you bowl in match situations and center wicket practice and all that. Once you have the blue jersey and the other team has the green jersey and the umpires are out there, it's a different ball game. So it does take you a bit of time to hit the straps, no matter how experienced you are. And I think today our spinners were particularly disappointing, where Shamsi was so good, where Keshav Maharaj was so good. I thought our spinners, we've got world-class spinners. We've got Ashwin, 400 test wickets. Today, Ashwin did not impress as much as Keshav Maharaj did. You look at his figures. Look at how he started. You look at how Aiden Makram started.
Yeah,
he's a Virendra Sehwag. He's the Virendra Sehwag type of a bowler. Beautiful release, but doesn't bowl that much. And he bowled the first 6, and he got KL Rahul out. So in the power play, we had an Aiden Makram who none of us knew would bowl, come and bowl in the power play and get one of our best batters out, and the skipper. Just goes to show how much they're bowling, not only their fast bowling, but their spin bowling, which is surprising to me. You look at the spinners on their side and spinners on our side, and you see the how heavy Indian spinners are. But today we didn't see that heaviness.
Do you reckon that we still go with two spinners next time we play on this ground?
Sorry, I lost that. Can you just be a little louder?
Now, yeah, sure. Now I was saying, do you reckon that when we come back next time on this ground, we still go with two spinners? Is there room for two spinners for India?
Yeah, these two spinners. I'm having a little bit of problem with my audio. So if you're asking me if these spinners were, if these spinners were good enough today, I don't think they were good enough today. I don't think.
No, my question was, should we play these? Should we play two spinners in the second
Yeah,
ODI?
I think so. I think these wickets we can play two spinners, but provided I just want more bat. I don't want Ashwin to bat at 7. I want Ashwin to bat at 8, maybe even 9. Shardul at 8, Ashwin at 9, and then 10, 11, two fast bowlers. This game is for batters, Prantik. You need batters to win the game. This is about getting one more run than the other team. It's not about getting wickets. You need a couple of guys to get wickets. You need a couple of guys to contain the batting, and then you need the guys to go and get the runs. That's what the mantra of white ball cricket is. Completely opposite of what red ball cricket is. So here, I think Ashwin at 7 is unthinkable for him. 8, maybe even 9. 8 is Shardul. 7 is another batter. 6 is definitely Surya. So 6 Surya, 7 or 5 Surya, 6 Rishabh. 5, 6 can be Surya and Rishabh. I just feel that Rishabh is better when there's less runs in hand. When you give him 150 runs to win, he sort of doesn't know what to do. But if you give him 70, and he'll win it to you in 10 overs. So that happens with lack of maturity. When you feel the target is too much, you feel you need to do too much, and it's too much time, and I got to hit this shot and that shot. And what happens is in the bargain, Surya is 31, 32. He's been around for a long time. He's won a lot of games for Mumbai, India A. So he's more of a seasoned captain. Maturity, some amount of maturity comes with age, no matter how much you play at a young age. And that's what Surya has got. He's got a calm influence about him in the ground. He'll say, no problem, we've got this game. A senior player comes and tells you, we've got this game. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. That gives you confidence. Whereas Rishabh Pant and Shreyash Iyer don't know what to do. Rishabh Pant and Venkatesh Iyer don't know what to do. They don't have the experience Surya does. So Surya, apart from his batting, also has a calming influence, and he's a seasoned campaigner. He'll tell these guys how to get out of these games. He's done it before many times, and you need somebody like that. Our 4, 5, 6 is very, very immature, and that's showing in the way they're approaching the run chase.
All right. So I think that there's clear indication that 4, 5, 6 maturity in terms of age. Obviously, we are missing Rohit at the very top. With the Rohit around on these pitches, you never know 100, 150 from Rohit, and we're not even talking about 5 and 6. But I guess that's the opportunity for the 4, 5, 6 on these tours. That when the mighty Rohit is not there, this is the chance for them to gain experience.
Prantik, you will have days when your 1, 2, 3 will fail. When they play, you have your feet up and you have the best seat in town. But there will be days, so you also need maturity at 4, 5, 6. Because like I just said, the start helps, but the finish matters.
Certainly.
So if Rohit and KL and Virat go and get 100 and 200, no loss for 1, and then you've got 80 runs in 140 balls with 9 wickets, we'll win. But what happens when we are 117 for 3? Who's going to bail us out that day?
Right.
So that's why you need maturity at 4, 5, 6.
And that's exactly what happened today. And let's quickly talk about the amazing partnership between the skipper's knock from Bavuma as well as Rassi. What I loved is the way they were kind of one was a foil to the other. I loved Van der Dusen's attacking cricket. I mean, who do you reckon in our Indian side, in the Indian batting lineup of today, or with Sky coming, do you reckon that with Surya Kumar coming in, he could play that aggressive brand of cricket? Because what I loved is he started off with more than run a ball, whilst Babua was kind of accumulating. And obviously, Shikhar and Kohli were kind of scoring at 70, 80. Shikhar started a bit more aggressive. But do you reckon that that's the role what Surya Kumar needs to play, just at 120, 130, if not even 130, 110, 120 strike rate? Is that something that he can do?
Yeah. See, the roles that Bavuma and Van der Dusen has was totally different. You could make out. But what was good was that they didn't have to work hard for the runs. The Indians didn't bowl tight enough. Okay, there was always a release ball coming. After 2 dot balls, they didn't have to manufacture anything. There was always a ball drifting on legs. There was short and wide outside off stump. So we weren't as accurate as we needed to be. When you're in test match, you're in a different mode. There are a lot of balls you'll get away with because it's about not getting out. The game is about not getting out. And also there was more juice in the pitch. This one was more about just keeping it on the spot, making it difficult, stifle the run so that the wicket comes, build pressure. We could not build pressure all day. We could not build pressure all day. That's the reason why they didn't have to work hard. Initially, for a bit, they did, but after that, the runs came easy. And they did not have to go hammer and tongs also because the runs were coming easy. See, once you go hammer and tongs, there's a chance of getting a wicket or two. And they were tight.
Right.
We were loose with our batting. You saw Shikhar, as experienced. I love the guy. He's got some great stats. Trying to cut a left arm spinner, incoming ball. We've taught that in under 15 days. Don't cut out an incoming spinner. So he cut that, gets bowled. Okay, I don't know what Kohli tried to sweep it. Unfortunate one hit the bottom and went to mid wicket. Okay, I have no idea what Rishabh Pant was doing. Down the leg side,
Probably
so
he doesn't
loose.
either.
Coming to even Shreya Iyer over the head. We've always been told any ball which is over the head, you can't control. You let it go. It's a wide because the rule is that the bouncer has to be between neck and head, and it's a very tight call. So once it's above the head, if it's in line with the head, you can control it. Once it's above the head, you can't control it. And this was above the head, so you would have got a wide for it. But he just had a swish and got behind. Venkatesh Iyer trapped him. They got their Nikiti back, bouncer, square leg back, longer side, onside. He fell for that. So everything, we just gave it to them on a platter. They just kept it little tight, little planner. Here it is. They didn't have to work hard. This is where you have to grind it out and take this. We in Hindi say game ko chota karo. What it means is make it a 20 ball 30 to win.
Right.
Get it close. Get the target close. 20 ball 30 with 5 wickets in hand, with 6 wickets in hand. The game is yours. With 4 wickets in hand, the game is yours. Because then 5 hits can win you the game. But when you're 150 behind, 130 behind, you need 15 big hits. And that's not coming. They're not going to give you that. So that's why get close. Game ko chota karo.
Hindsight is 2020. And, with obviously at the end, if obviously you knew that, Shardul could have done what he did eventually, just like you rightly said, the maturity, if people could have just chugged along. Of course, the fact that South Africa was stifling us, but if either Shikhar, either Shreyas or Rishabh or probably Venkatesh could have stayed a bit longer, scored at 80, 90, you never know. But I guess that's what cricket is all about. Good to see ODI cricket back. It's still just one game. I guess the two key messages is we've got to get our bowling tighter, especially the spinners. Hopefully that's a change that we notice. And when it comes to our batting, 4, 5, 6, hopefully they get a chance to kind of mature themselves. Hopefully they spend more time in the middle. And chances are if you spend more time, हम game को छोटा कर सकते हैं, and hopefully, and again we'll see whether India is chasing or it could be a difference in our we might get a chance to set a target, which again sometimes I feel is probably even harder because you don't know how much is enough. But clearly I think, as you've rightly said, 300 320 is par, and India needs to either be able to set that
absolutely
or chase that. All right.
And Shardul also has to realize that he's there because of his bowling. So his bowling has to be spot on. His batting is an added bonus. Right now he's thinking, okay, my batting. But first, your first discipline, you're in the team because of your bowling. If you're 10 over 70, it's not good enough. You have to be 10 over 50. Then your batting comes into play. If you're 10 over 70, you're not doing the job. Your batting is an added bonus.
That's right. Okay. And yeah, this 50, it looked good, but obviously, went in vain. I'm sure he would be a happy guy. Venkatesh Iyer, hopefully we get to see him bowl as well. So I'm sure lots to think for, Dravid as well as KL Rahul. I'm sure they'll be analyzing along with the team. But again, let's give them some time to think about it. We'll come back in a couple of days. And on Friday afternoon, early days again. I mean, yes, we haven't. Either side hasn't played ODI cricket for a while. But again, credit where it's due. Kudos. What's stayed true for South Africa across test match to ODIs is the fact that the brand of cricket that they play is they kind of go all in. These little moments, they just come together to chip in, especially even when they saw the game was running away. The spinners, like you said, they just came in, they took one led to 2, 2 led to 4, and suddenly the match was out of
and they knew we are top heavy. They knew inroads can get us right. They knew you had a total. You had to be patient. They knew that Shikhar was on his comeback trail. He's under a lot of pressure. I have no idea why, but everybody says that he should be playing and somebody else should be playing. Everybody's got to wait for their turn. Shikhar I saw his stats this morning in the newspapers. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Across
even in the IPL, as tough as it is, he's got 1,600 runs in the last 3 years, 550 runs every year. That's
absolutely
that's just awesome. Somebody, an opener in with a strike rate of 135, 500 runs every year in IPL, that's a winner for you.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And again,
so that's
I dare say across
South Africa
tests,
knew we
across
had top
ODIs.
heavy. They knew we had the top three, and then if they could make inroads, there was a bit of looseness, bit of inexperience, bit of unknown, bit of not having chased. Okay, all this was there, and they hung on to that. They just latched on.
All right, 1-0 to them, but you never know. Maybe India can come back and do what South Africa did
Sure,
to us in the
sure.
Test series, and we could win this 2-1. Good ODI cricket. Thank you, Joydipda, and have a great evening and night ahead. We'll come back to you guys on Rev Sports on Friday afternoon before the game. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and you too.